The archive never closes. Tonight's file: the people of the state of New York versus Harry Kendall Thaw. On the night of June 25, 1906, a man walked through a crowded rooftop theater in New York City, raised a pistol, and shot another man 3 times, in front of hundreds of witnesses. He never denied it. He never ran. The jury's verdict: not guilty. Counsel, take a seat. You'll want to see this one for yourself. New York, 1906. The Gilded Age is dying, but nobody has told the rich. The victim was the most celebrated architect in America. The killer, heir to a $40 million fortune. And the question that will decide this case is not who pulled the trigger. It's whether 12 ordinary men could be convinced that the law should not care.
Stanford White, 52 years old. He designed mansions, monuments, and Madison Square Garden itself. The man died inside a building he built. Harry Kendall Thaw, 35, Pittsburgh coal and railroad money, a history of instability that his family's fortune kept quietly out of the papers. And between them, Evelyn Nesbit, chorus girl, artist's model, the most photographed woman in America, Thaw's wife, and years earlier, when she was 16, Stanford White's victim. The record will say exactly that in her own testimony.
June 25, 1906. The rooftop theater of Madison Square Garden premieres a musical called Mam'selle Champagne. White sits at his usual table. Thaw, in a black overcoat on a summer night, circles him 3 times. During the finale, 3 shots. The crowd laughs first. They think it's part of the show. Then the screaming starts. Hundreds of witnesses. A confession on the spot. Thaw, still holding the pistol. Counsel, on paper, this case should have taken 1 afternoon. It took 2 trials and nearly 2 years. Ask yourself why.
The law is not complicated here, Thorne. Premeditation. A deadly weapon. 300 witnesses. The statute asks one question. Did he know what he was doing? He circled the table 3 times. He knew.
And yet, the defense never really argued the facts. They argued the victim. January 1907. The first trial of the century, the press invents the phrase for this courtroom. The defense puts Evelyn Nesbit on the stand, and she testifies to what Stanford White did to her at 16. The prosecution objects. The victim is not on trial. The jury hears every word anyway. Thaw's lawyer, Delphine Delmas, gives the jury a doctrine no statute has ever contained. He calls it dementia Americana. The species of insanity, he says, that makes every American believe his home and his wife are sacred. Counsel, understand what is happening. He is not asking whether Thaw was insane. He is asking whether Thaw was justified. Dressed in the language of medicine.
47 hours of deliberation. 7 jurors for the death penalty. 5 for acquittal. A hung jury is not mercy. It's exhaustion.
So the state tries again. January 1908, second trial. Same facts, same witnesses. One difference. This time the defense stops pretending. Insanity. Plain, clinical, complete. Counsel, the jury is back. Not guilty by reason of insanity. February 31st, 1908. Thaw is committed to the Mattawan Asylum for the criminally insane. 7 years later, a jury declares him sane, and he walks out a free man. The crowds cheer him in the street. 3 shots, 300 witnesses, 0 days in prison. The record says the jury judged Harry Thaw's mind. The record has been wrong before. Perhaps what they judged was Stanford White's sins, and the law simply handed them the only door-marked exit. The law is what we wrote. Justice is what we wanted. I am condemned to read the difference, one case at a time. Next week's file, a will, a fortune, and a signature that arrived 4 years after the funeral. The family vault is waiting. If you'd like to study the evidence the way counsel does, the case brief is in the description. Filed, never forgotten.